Hey guys, how's it going? So today's video we've got another tooth wear case. It just seems that we've had loads of tooth wear cases come into the practice recently, so I'm going to show you how I do it. And this is the before and after. You can see that this is quite a significant tooth wear one. In fact, I would probably estimate this is in the top 3% of worst wear cases that we've had at the practice. So that says quite a lot. But to make matters worse, this patient says that most of this tooth wear has happened in the last 18 months, which is a ridiculously quick rate of tooth wear. And there has to be something underlying wrong, which is causing all of this tooth wear. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking that the teeth which we did for him are too white, and you would be right, they are quite white. They're not this super bright in reality, but what's making them look worse is that he hasn't even started whitening the lower teeth yet. So he's going to whiten the lower teeth, it's going to help reduce the contrast, and the difference is going to look a lot less noticeable once he's done it. But he's going to do that in his own time. I've got these photos on like a week after we fitted the veneers, and that's where we're working from. So before I go into a lot of detail, there is a more detailed version of this video available for dentists, and all you need to do is click on my bio. There's a link there, and it should be pretty self-explanatory on how you can get the more detailed videos straight to your inbox. But back to this one. What is causing all of this tooth wear? Right? Look at this. Like when he closes together, his top and his bottom teeth have ground each other down so much that the top teeth are pretty much almost at gum level. There's only a couple of millimeters on some of these teeth, which is above the bone level. So if we look at these two teeth in a bit more detail, these ones are pretty much at gum level. And if we're going to rebuild this smile, we need something to hold on to. And in the case of these two teeth on the patient's top right, because there's nothing there, and we tested the teeth and the teeth weren't alive because he's ground them down so much, the best thing was to look at doing root canal treatments on these teeth and doing posts inside them, so we've got something to grip the crowns onto. But I can't give this patient to my root canal specialist in the situation where he's in now, because there's no space for her to do the root fillings. So we strategized on how we're going to do this, and we did the trial smile first. Then I sent the patient to the root canals. He had the root canals done, and then he came back to me and we did the final porcelain work. Okay, it's a little bit long-winded. It's not how we normally do it, but it works in this case. Now, let's look at what is causing all this tooth wear and why did it accelerate in the last 18 months. So the important thing to understand, there's a number of causes of tooth wear, but in this case, as his jaw closes, so his jaw's going to close in a sort of an arc pattern. As it closes, one tooth, the last tooth on the top right that you can see here, is the first tooth to contact his lower jaw. And the body knows that that's wrong, and as it touches that tooth, the body repositions the lower jaw into a more forward position. Then this is putting stress on muscles in the jaw joint, and the body's trying to grind out this initial contact. But in doing so, we're grinding down all of the front teeth, and that's what's caused all this problem. So the significance of the whole 18-month thing is that he saw a dentist about 18 months ago. They took out a tooth which was hopeless, but that altered the bite, and now we've got this tooth wear. I want to iterate that this is pretty extreme. Okay, if you've seen a dentist, they've taken a tooth out and your bite felt different, it's unlikely that your tooth wear is going to be as bad as this. So another thing to notice on this photo is that he's got his lower teeth are more in front of the top teeth. Okay, so if we draw a line, there's this kind of step where normally the top teeth are in front of the lower teeth, and this happens as the chin and the nose get closer and closer together. The lower teeth appear to move forward. So that's why it all looks like this. Next, what do we do? The most important thing in this whole treatment I've missed out, because it's recording that comfortable position of the jaw joints. Okay, and there's a whole process which I go through in order to do this. It takes usually about an hour, and I do it in the chair. but we record the position of how we want the final teeth to be. Then we build up the lower teeth, and in this case we used a composite material for the lower teeth because it's more cost effective, it's a lot quicker, and the aesthetics don't matter so much at the bottom. And the top teeth we're planning to do in porcelain, but in this photo, this is how he left my surgery after one session, where we built up the whole smile in the position which is comfortable for his jaw joint. So as his jaw bites, we've got even contact everywhere, which means that we're not going to get this selective tooth wear which was happening before. So at this stage, remember these two teeth still need to be root filled. So the patient went to the root canal specialist, had the root canals done, and I haven't got a really clear photo of the posts. The best one that I found was one that I'll show you in a minute. But let's go back into why these teeth needed the root canal. So the anatomy of a tooth is like this. You've got 2/3 of the tooth inside the gum, and 1/3 of the tooth is showing out here. And inside the tooth we have a nerve. So the nerve of the tooth is important because all the blood vessels come in and out of the nervy part of the tooth, like from the top. And if the nerve is damaged, you can get infections. So what he's done, he's ground his teeth down almost to the nerve, and on those two teeth he'd ground them down so much that the nerve had actually died. So he had to remove the nerve and do this root canal treatment and then build the teeth up with posts so we can put good quality crowns over the top of them. So this is what he looks like, and look, it's all up at gum level. We did the root canal treatment and my finger's obscuring it a little bit, but you can see this pointy tooth. That's not actually a tooth, that's the post which is inside the tooth. So his front teeth look a little bit different because we've adjusted them, got them ready for our porcelain restorations, and we're just taking colour matches of the tooth underneath so we can get the final teeth all in pretty much the same colour. And with any complex bite case, I always do kind of a veneer try-in, and this is the veneer try-in. I've taken one tooth out of my temporary smile and I've just placed this unfinished veneer in position. So I want to just really check the bite and the aesthetics at this stage before the lab finishes the veneers off. So you can see instantly that this tooth is a little bit too short, which makes me think, you know, the bite's going to be completely wrong. So I took all of the patient's right side temporary teeth out and we put in the new try-in veneers, and you can see as he's biting together there's a gap between the lower and the upper teeth. That's not what we wanted. So I took new bite records, loads of photos, sent them to the lab so the lab can set the whole case up exactly how I want it. I've added what we call composite flow material to the edges of all of the upper teeth to get the aesthetics exactly right. We've taken new bite records, and this is what all the veneers look like on a stone model which the lab sends to us. Anyway, just going through this phase has saved me so much hassle in the long term. This is what the smile looks like once we've fitted everything. We've now got even contact everywhere at the back, so every time he chews, it's always biting in exactly the same position, and we've got even contact without any slides or anything like that. He tells me it feels a lot more comfortable. There's one tooth in his smile that I'm a little bit worried about, and this tooth, when we tested it, the nerve hadn't been affected. It was still alive, but there wasn't much tooth for me to grip onto for the crown. So we knew about this from the beginning, and what we decided was if this tooth gives us trouble in the long term, what we can do is just remove the tooth and place an implant, or possibly if we can do a root canal, we'll do that and we'll fix the problem. But obviously an implant's a lot more expensive, but the deal we had was if that was to happen, I would only charge him the difference between the crown and an implant to fix it. And you know, I think that's fair enough. He was happy with that deal, and it means we can do less treatment to get the results that he's looking for. So he's happy. From whatever angle you look at, this is a complete transformation. He's a completely different person. Even as soon as we got the temporaries in, he wouldn't let me do anything and take him back to his original state, just because he knew what was possible. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next week in our next video. Take care.